Our pace of living leaves us little time for leisure. Our program will give you a chance to experience the fascinating world of traveling, extreme adventures, hunting and fishing. Each week we will take you to the most beautiful places of Kazakhstan. The Lake Balkhash region is one of the most beautiful places of the Almaty region. Just 500 kilometers from Almaty, and you are in the fisherman's paradise. The fishing is great here. Avid fishermen will not be surprised to hear the story about great fishing in Lake Balkhash. The lake is a must for Kazakhstani fishermen. 150 warm days a year ensure great fishing and underwater hunting. Unless rain or storm is expected and air pressure drops, the fish swims in search of food, and fishermen sail in search of the fish. If you decide to go fishing in Lake Balkhash, don't forget to take everything you need, including drinking water, food and enough fuel. The road to the Ili River estuary lies via semi-desert. We are driving towards Lake Balkhash. It is an inland, semi-freshwater lake on the southeast of Kazakhstan, the second biggest saltwater lake after the Caspian Sea, and 13th in the list of biggest lakes in the world. Lake Balkhash is divided into two parts by narrow strait, freshwater part and saltwater one. This is Balkhash peculiarity. The Ili River flows into the lake. According to one of the versions, the name of the lake originates from Kazakh and Tatar languages. In these languages, the word Balkhash means a swampy area covered with small hills. There is also a legend explaining the emergence of Lake Balkhash. Once upon a time, there was a rich and powerful magician. His name was Balkhash. Balkhash had a beautiful daughter Ili. The magician planned to marry off Ili to a rich and strong man. However, the girl declined all the candidates suggested by her father. She liked Karatal, a poor shepherd. Then Balkhash announced the contest between candidates. Karatal won this contest and Ili ran away with him. As a punishment, the father cast a spell on the young runaways. He turned them into two rivers, and then the father turned himself into Lake Balkhash to prevent them from joining together. We are heading to the Ili River estuary. It is famous for the bass fishing. At present, in many cases, people come here to fish for leisure or as a sports activity. Fewer and fewer people go fishing to support their families. Today, even the World Sport Fishing Championships are being organized. The Ili River rises in the mountains in China, then it flows to Kazakhstan and pours in Lake Balkhash. A long time ago, this was an active trade route connecting China and Kazakhstan. Nowadays, the river is getting shallow. The water touring fans raft down the river on rafts and float boards. The estuary is a popular place among fishermen and underwater hunters. Apart from two branches of the Ili River, Topar and Zhideli, there are a lot of small lakes and ponds. According to scientists, each estuary is a unique mini ecosystem. One can see it for oneself. by watching big fish swimming in the rushes, sandpipers searching for food in the river mud. An Asiatic poplar, cane and riparian woodlands are growing on the lake shores. It is hard to believe that the Caspian tiger dwelled here in the first half of the 20th century. Today, this place is the home of wild pigs, foxes, hares and many bird species. The nightingale sings during the night. The swans are settling on the lake. Pelicans and cormorants are flying during the daytime to have lunch. We plan to photo hunt and hunt underwater. We submerged under the water during the day in search of the fish hiding in the vegetation. We haven't seen any big fish today. This place is the home for catfish. It is really quiet here. Let's follow the hunter. Underwater hunting is usually done with spear gun or just a spear. You can shoot using crossbow and pneumatic spear gun under the water. The shot in the pneumatic spear gun is fired by pumped compressed air. Crossbow fires by rubber drag ropes. The hunting is usually carried out holding breath. The use of breathing apparatus is considered as poaching. Amateurs and sportsmen are engaged in underwater hunting. Twice a year, the Underwater Hunting Estuary Cup is being held in the Ili River. The sportsmen are allowed to take two different kinds of fish. It is prohibited to catch the fish that has not reached certain weight. Fishing for the snakehead is allowed and the quantity captured is unrestricted since it is a predatory fish and unwelcome here. The snakehead eats small fish and frogs, and the quantity of mosquitoes is rising due to that fact. During the Soviet Union times, this kind of sport was widespread in Russia and Kazakhstan. There are many legends in our region telling about huge catfishes which can take the person to the river bottom. One of our cameramen was diving with an aqualung in the Ili River and watched 3-meter-long catfish. Specialists say that these are just the legends and the fish cannot take the person to the bottom. Fright is the main reason behind people's death. People are usually got scared when feel the fish touching them. They have the jitters and may lose the mouthpiece and drown. Special equipment together with strong nerves and self-control is required for diving. Underwater hunting is a dynamic and exciting kind of sport, requiring serious physical training. The oxygen supply in the lungs and blood is limited, so the hunter has little time to act. To succeed in hunting, one has to learn habits, habitats, and the fish, and know effective hunting methods. Underwater hunting could be carried out both on the riverside and in the significant depths. Usually, experienced and trained divers can hold their breath for more than 5 minutes. However, you don't have to be a sportsman to give yourself a try in underwater hunting. There are many fishing bases in the Lake Balkhash region. Fishing is usually the man's domain, so simple dishes are usually cooked. Constant search of the place may guarantee good fishing. The terrain is very complex here, so it is better to become wet, but lead the off-road vehicle through the swamp by checking its bottom by your feet. It looks like the driver of this small truck has not followed the rules. We need to take him out of the swampy place. We decided to use a long wire rope to help him. It is very important to choose the right creeks in order not to get stuck in a rush banks and not to go aground. You choose the creek and sail. Vast fields of yellow nymphos are moving on the waves. We remembered the history of Lake Balkhash discovery. The first historic geographic data about the lake was gathered by the Chinese. They had good contacts with Middle Asia. They called the land to the west from the Great Wall as Western Region or Siyu. Starting from the 8th century, the territory of the Lake Balkhash to Tian Shan Mountains was called Zhetesu, or the place of 7 rivers. Alexander von Humboldt, an explorer of these lands, thought that Chinese people called Lake Balkhash as Western Sea or Sea-Hai. The Jungars and the Kalmyks called the lake as Balkhash Nor, the Mongols and the Turks as Akdeniz or White Sea. They marked all geographic objects in white to the west to their settlements. At some point, when the borders of the country moved to the west, it was called Kuchajengiz or Blue Sea. In 1834, Mr. Fedotov, an astronomer, has determined the exact position of Lake Balkhash and partially surveyed its territory. Several expeditions were carried out to the lake, its shores were studied, and sample fishing was carried out and showed a lack of salmon. Another expedition has revealed the lake's depth and possibility of navigation. The lake was a northern border of China during Qing dynasty. In 1864, Lake Balkhash and its adjacent territories were given away to the Russian Empire in accordance with the Russian-Chinese agreement on the northwest border. Today, Lake Balkhash is located on the territory of Kazakhstan. Thousands of fishermen and underwater hunters from all over the Republic are choosing the lake or the Ili River estuary. Some of them fly on small planes, others hire a helicopter or travel on off-road vehicles. There are a lot of guides helping the hunters and fishermen at the place. As for ourselves, we have spent many summer months here and explored the estuary in detail. Still, we are not tired of this place. Its blue water, fresh air smelling like steppe grass, its sunrises and sunsets, and birds singing their songs. Thanks to this love of the wildlife and home ground, other people are able to see what is happening beyond the city borders. Next time, we will go again in quest of adventures and new places, and we'll be back with a trophy, the footage that will shed some light on mysteries of wildlife.